For billions of years, Earth's oceans were the cradle of life. From tiny microbes to Cambrian creatures, everything thrived underwater. But by around 500 million years ago, shallow seas were crowded with trilobites, early mollusks, and primitive fish. The land above, meanwhile, was barren and lifeless, covered only in rocks, sand, and volcanic soils. Yet, life was about to make one of its boldest moves, stepping out of the oceans onto land. The first pioneers of land were not animals but plants. Around 470 million years ago, simple moss-like plants began to grow near water's edge. They lacked true roots or leaves, but they could photosynthesize and survive short periods out of water. By 430 million years ago, plants had developed vascular tissues to transport water and nutrients, allowing them to grow taller and spread inland. These early plants, such as Cooksonia, transformed the barren land into green landscapes. Plants created food and shelter, and soon animals followed. The first land animals were invertebrates, likely descendants of arthropods such as scorpions and millipede-like creatures. Fossils like Numidesmus numini, dating back 428 million years, show that these animals had breathing systems adapted to air. Slowly, insects and spiders evolved, forming the first true land ecosystems.
While invertebrates explored the land, vertebrates were evolving in the oceans. Some fish developed strong, bony fins that helped them move in shallow waters. Over time, these fins became protolimbs. One of the most famous transitional fossils is Tiktaalik, discovered in 2004 in Arctic Canada. Dated at 375 million years old, Tiktaalik had both gills and lungs, fins and primitive wrists, a true link between fish and the first amphibians. From these ancestors emerged creatures like Ichthyostega and Amphibians, among the earliest amphibians to walk on land.
Living on land brought enormous challenges. Water was no longer everywhere, so early land creatures had to evolve ways to conserve moisture. Gravity was stronger without the buoyancy of water, demanding stronger skeletons. Breathing air required lungs instead of gills. And reproduction, once dependent on water, needed new strategies, from spores in plants to amniotic eggs in animals. Each adaptation was a step toward mastering the land. By the Devonian period, about 360 million years ago, Earth's landscapes were transformed. Forests of ferns and giant horsetails spread across the land. Insects buzzed among the leaves. Amphibians became the first vertebrates to establish themselves outside water. This revolution marked the beginning of complex terrestrial ecosystems, lush green lands filled with new forms of life. The move from ocean to land was one of the greatest turning points in Earth's history. Plants created the green world, invertebrates built the first land ecosystems, and amphibians took the first steps that would eventually lead to reptiles, mammals, and us. In our next episode, we'll journey into the rise of the reptiles and the age of dinosaurs, the rulers of the Mesozoic era.